Hey guys, welcome to the video. So today I'd like to talk about something that quite a lot of people struggle with, and I've had this question a few times. So I am eating 1,200 calories per day and the weight loss has stopped. How do I kickstart the fat loss again and start losing weight? So that is what we will be talking about in this video today. Ooh, and I have my free structured eating guide below. So that enables you to eat in a way without counting calories and points and things like that, but also still be able to lose weight at the same time. So that is below. Right, so first off, what is this 1,200 calories? This kind of magical number that no one seems to want to go under. So, well, the answer is we don't really know. And from looking around the internet, it just seems to be a number that people that are trying to lose weight decided that you can't eat fewer calories than that. And so when you are eating that many calories and you're not losing weight, the question comes up, what do I do now? Because I can't reduce my calories anymore. So that's why people get stuck. And the only obvious thing to do then is increase your exercise to burn more calories. The problem with that though is that because you are already eating so few calories and increasing the energy need of your body wants to survive, right? So it will then become more efficient. So the food that you do eat, it will absorb more of, so you'll get back into the same problem of you will not be losing weight. And also, at the same time, when you're exercising so much, be it running or whatever you're doing, you become extremely tired. So you will move around less. So we have something called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, really big word, NEAT for short, N-E-A-T. So that's the movement you do that is not an exercise. All of the rest of the things in the day. So that is everything from your posture to the movements you do when you're cleaning your teeth, to the movements you do when you're moving around your house. All those things aren't planned exercise. Now, when you are on a diet and severely restricting your calories, your body wants to conserve energy. So as well, it will stop you making these movements. So you'll become more lazy, in fact. And then as well, you'll be burning less energy. So all these things contribute to not losing weight. So you have to be very, very careful. And it's very easy to get to the point of complete burnout where you're like, it, I just want to eat some food and it's not worth doing this terrible diet just to lose weight. I'd rather eat and be overweight. And that's just your brain's survival tactics trying to, not let you die. And so you fall back into this yo-yo cycle of then binging on a load of food, putting weight back on, and then thinking, I do need to lose weight, and do the same thing over and over again and get into the same cycle. So what do we do about this, and how can we actually solve this? How can we kickstart the fat loss after dropping our calories to as low as 1,200? Well, the first thing I would say is just don't count calories. So calorie counting is good for two things. Number one, short-term tracking of knowing what's in your food. So if you are new to dieting and you're not aware of what is in certain foods and you may be overeating on certain really high calorie foods and not aware, it's very useful over a short amount of time, so 3 to 5 days, to track your calories so you're knowing how many calories are in your foods. The other kind of people that can have benefit from counting calories and tracking their food are professional athletes that need to meet a weight class. So this might be boxers or bodybuilders that for a short period of time, they need to get to a certain specific weight by a certain date, and counting calories helps them get that. But then outside these periods, they're not doing that. So for me, the problems with calorie counting are as follows. So the first thing is that it's an effort, right? And not everyone wants to do it. And even if they do, they don't always want to do it, or they're not always able to do it. So, for example, you may be super motivated and count calories for a while every day of all your food, but there comes a point where you think, this is just a lot of things to do. I can't bother to do this today. I've got a lot of stress in my life, and you just don't do it. And it might be a situation where you go out for a meal where you can't count calories, or you're at a friend's house. And in these situations, your thinking becomes very black and white. So you're like, ooh, when I'm doing it very well, I'm doing it perfectly. When I'm not doing it, I just don't do it at all. And so this black and white thinking leads to, when I'm doing it, I will be perfect on my diet. When I'm not doing it, I'll just eat anything because I can't track them, so I may as well just eat anything. And obviously that is not very good for long-term progress, because some points you're doing perfectly, sometimes you're doing nothing. And so you're, again, yo-yoing and not being very consistent with eating. And that doesn't get you results. I will move on to what to do instead in a little bit. But the next thing is that calorie counting teaches you to lose touch with your hunger signals, which is not a good thing, because as you are trying to fit certain foods into that calorie limit, you can eat whenever you want, because you're eating not to hunger, you're eating to the amount of calories you've set yourself. So you may not be hungry, and then you eat something and you're fine because you're sticking to your calorie limit. However, what that means is if you ever don't count calories, then you've taught yourself to eat food when you are not hungry, which is not a good thing, because that could be all the time, right? And again, that could lead to overeating and obviously weight gain. And also calorie counting could teach you to eat in a not necessarily healthy way, because different foods, of course, have different nutrients. So if all you're doing is trying to fit foods into your calorie limit, you might not necessarily look for specific healthy foods. You might just fit what you want to eat into that limit. So for example, on this side, we have this, which is 1,200 calories. And on this side, we have this, which is 1,200 calories. You can see there's a big difference in size of the food and the amount of food, and also the nutrients and the breakdown of what you're getting in that food. And so being able to learn what is in your food and what supports your health is very, very important as well. And the next thing is the psychological aspect, which holds a lot of people back. So precision and being too precise is not a good thing, because there's no such thing as perfection, and you cannot be perfect. So let me explain with an analogy. So let's say I have a plank of wood, and this plank of wood is 2 meters long and 1 meter wide, and I place it on the floor. And I say to you, what are the chances that you can walk from one side of this plank of wood to the other and not fall off? You will say, that's pretty easy. I say, I bet you £100. And you say, yeah, great, I will take that bet. So you stand on one end of the plank of wood, you look towards the other side, and you walk across. Easy as that. So you win. Now, if I then raise that plank of wood, say 200 meters in the air, and place it between two buildings, I've raised the stakes. Nothing else has changed. You still have to do the same task, exactly the same task, but I have increased the stakes. I've made it more precise. I've made what you have to do more precise. So I say to you the same thing, and you say, oh, actually, now, what if I wobble? What if I fall off? What if I die? Yeah, this is dangerous now. Why should I even try this? It seems. What if this? What if that? And so all I've done is I've raised the stakes, exactly the same task, but I've asked you to be more precise. And so in doing this, you, instead of looking towards the other side and walking across, you're thinking about what could go wrong. You're thinking about all the things that you don't want, and it stops you moving forward. And exactly the same with the diet. When you make things too precise, you think about what could go wrong, and all those things add extra stress, which on a side note can lead into more emotional eating, but it stops you moving forward. It stops you getting what you want. It stops you looking towards the other side. All you focus on is things going wrong and what you don't want. And this stops you actually attaining what you do want, because if you focus on what you don't want, you're not moving towards what you do want. It's kind of like driving in a car, looking in the rearview mirror. You're going forward, but you're looking backwards, and you probably won't get very far before you wrap your car around a lamppost. So it's very, very important to not have this precision mindset. So what is the solution to this 1,200 calorie plateau? I'm not losing weight. How do I kickstart the fat loss? So the simple answer is don't count calories and start eating in a different way. So I mentioned before, I have my healthy eating guide below. Grab that for free. That is yours. So in this guide, I describe how to eat in a structured way, being able to solve some of the problems around dieting. So one of the biggest problems people have to start with is that they reduce their food and so they get hungry. And that's not a good thing on a diet, right? Because you don't want to be hungry. So being able to eat enough food and also get enough nutrients in, because you need to have the right nutrients to not crave things, right? Physically craving things because your body needs them to survive. And the next thing is knowing these portion sizes. So the best way to do that I have found and I use with all my clients is using your hand, because your hand goes everywhere with you. So you can use it to judge different portions of food. And so whether you're at home, whether you're at a friend's house, at a restaurant, in the street, in the supermarket, you can judge how much food you're eating based on your hand size. And the great thing is everyone has a hand relative to the size of their body. And like I said, it goes everywhere with you unless you've lost your hands for some strange reason. So you don't have to take a scale with you. You don't have to use any apps. You don't have to use any cups. You don't have to measure calories or points or anything in any way. And this reduces the stress, reduces the precision. And you don't need to be precise with your calories because your body is not precise with using them either. So every day you're doing different amounts and types of activity, and every day your body is absorbing different amounts of calories depending on your metabolism and things like that. So your burning is not precise, and so the consumption does not need to be to a precision level. And you can still get amazing results by using your hand instead of counting calories into an app or however you may do it. And really important point to this, you must add variety into your food. And this actually is one thing that calorie counters tend to not do. So because of the monogamy of counting calories into an app, they often eat similar things because you can just then quickly put them into the app, or you know it's adding up to that calorie amount. Now, this, of course, over time you get bored of, so you may stray away from what you're doing. The really important thing is to add variety to your meals. So being able to cook different types of food, different flavors, different textures, and different ways. So you are continuously adding variety and you're not bored of what you're eating, which is really, really important, right? Another really, really important thing is adding treats and things that you really, really enjoy. So never cutting anything out, because what you're doing and the way you're eating is the way you want to continue eating. And number one, like I said, not get bored of. And number two, still enjoy what you're eating. So adding in things that you do like, maybe alcohol, chocolate, wine, cake, because that is super important too. But obviously the bulk of your diet should be whole foods that support your body and make you feel good, because that's the point of eating, right? As well as that treat side, the emotional side, which is of course 100% allowed, and like that's humans for you, right? We emotionally eat, and that's part of who we are. We can't get away from that. And why? Because it's great to enjoy foods as well. One of the biggest problems I find with people, and this is what I do with my clients a lot, is that it's not the logical side of eating, the I'm going to eat this and this and this, that they find difficult with. It's when the devil on the shoulder comes out and says, ooh, you said you weren't going to eat this, so let's have some of it. And then you can't control yourself. You end up binge eating or emotionally eating, picking at things and violating your decisions. And this makes you feel guilty, and it gets you in this cycle. So rather than the actual kind of healthy eating, what people refer to, it's the stuff that you can't control, and you end up going off track that people find difficult. And like I said, this is for another video as well, but I help a lot of my clients with emotional eating, and we have great success. And once we get this side of the eating sorted out, the logical side of eating becomes so much easier, because you decide what you want to eat, you eat it when you want to eat it, and you include things you enjoy as well, and you make great progress with your diet. And if you are counting calories and you've done it for a long time, just want to put this out there, that it can become a very difficult thing to give up, because it can become an addiction of, what if I don't know how much I'm eating? And yeah, like it's that going in blind to situation. You've taught yourself so much and you become scared you're going to lose your results, or scared you're going to go off track. And part of the problem is that a lot of fitness professionals, I used to do it, count calories and teach their clients to do it. And it doesn't mean it's right. Yes, calories are the science behind eating. It doesn't mean you need to count them to get results, because you can measure, like I said, food in different ways that is less precise but still gets amazing results. And if you do struggle with this, I know a lot of people do, moving away from the calorie counting, the point counting, etc., from a black and white to a grey mindset. So a grey mindset is doing the best you can in the moment you can, not going from I'm doing it to I'm not doing it. So in situations where you can't count calories, with things like hand portions, you can measure things. So it becomes more grey, and so you're being more consistent and you get better results that way. And if you would like any help, feel free to reach out. I deal with a lot of clients who have struggled with 1,200 calories or other amount of calories that they're eating and not losing weight. And we 100% every time get results, because switching the way that you're doing your diet and the things like the emotional eating that I mentioned before, solving those really move you towards actually getting your results. So that is it today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment, and subscribe as well. Let me know in the comments below, do you count your calories? How many calories do you eat per day? Do you struggle with weight loss? Let me know below, and I will see you in the next video.